Hello, I'm Kathryn.
And I'm Jacob, and welcome to Wedding Possible. Today, Kathryn has put together some questions that her family members have been asking about our proposal. And we thought it'd be like a little something nice to go over together and kind of talk about how I felt, how she felt, how everything kind of came together, because it's quite a bit of a story. But we won't know if we'll get into that today or maybe on a different video, but it would be nice to kind of at least get it out there for our friends and family who are watching, just to have general questions and weren't able to be there with us when I did propose. So,
looking good.
All right, well, let's get started.
yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna draw questions out of the bowl. Okay, first question.
Hopefully it's not anything embarrassing.
I don't think it's gonna be embarrassing. All right. Tell us the proposal story. How did it happen and where was it?
Well, for the proposal story at least, it was kind of like a pre-planned impromptu proposal, and by that I mean I had a general idea of that I wanted to propose to her on 4th of July, because on 4th of July we went to go visit Kathryn's family to celebrate with them, and I also have a different change of scenery after being cooped up in Southern California for a while. We decided to go up to Sacramento, where her family's from. And a couple of nights before, I called my parents, asked them if it's okay that I proposed to her with her family, because I wanted to do it somewhere differently than I originally planned. But due to everything that's closing down, my plans to propose have changed multiple times. And I wanted to have something where it involved everyone, especially her family. Luckily, Kathryn told me that her best friends were going to be there as well for 4th of July, so I said, perfect. Everything's being made without me having to put things together. So I sent them some messages saying, this is what I'm planning. I'm going to be asking Kathryn's parents the day before for Kathryn's hand in marriage, and they were all ready to help plan it, help me put things together.
And I had no idea. No idea. I'm such a type A type of person where I like to know all the details of everything. And I asked him before we left, is there a chance? And he's like, no. I asked him before if it was a possibility, because we've been talking about it a little bit. We actually started kind of having that discussion and looking at rings right before the pandemic hit, ironically. And so he assured me that no, nothing was gonna go down during 4th of July, birthday weekend. So not to think about it, basically. And so I was like, okay, well, and then that was it. It's kind of just left one ear, not the other.
And little did she know, I already bought the ring months ahead.
I had no idea.
Hid it. A very good spot in my socks.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. Wow, yeah, I would have never checked the socks.
In case you weren't looking.
That's hilarious. Very good.
But yeah. So when we got to Kathryn's family's house, I waited until Kathryn went to go somewhere else in the house, and I asked both her parents, and they said yeah, and that was pretty exciting itself. It took a lot of courage to say something, even though they had said that they didn't need it. I still felt that it was still nice and necessary and respectful to ask them to take her hand in marriage. I know it's kind of old school, but I'm just an old school type of guy, maybe.
Yeah, you are. I mean, he opens my car door every time we go to drive somewhere, so chivalry is not dead, people. I'm just saying. It's not.
I don't think it's chivalry, but okay.
I think it. I mean, maybe not the proposal aspect, but
yeah, no,
the way you are.
And your mom was pretty nice too. She took me aside outside and asked me how I'm planning everything, and she was willing to help me plan how I'm gonna do it. And I gave her like a basic idea of what I wanted to do, and luckily she was telling me, you know what, you should think about this, you should think about that, you should think about doing it this way. And she made a lot of good points, which I took a lot of those into consideration. She actually helped me kind of wrangle everyone together and wrangle the things. And long story short, Kathryn was taking photographs of her brother and her friend Susie for the graduation photos. And I had let Susie and her friend Anissa know that, hey, while they're taking photos, I'm going to ask her a photo for Kathryn and I, because normally for 4th of July, I have a full outfit that I like to wear. And so we set up the camera, like she's going to take photos of Susie, and I said, let's take one together. And I gave my phone to Kathryn's mom, and I told everyone to take their phones out. Prior to this, I had a conversation to everyone. I had everyone take their phones out to film it and take photos. And as I was sitting there, I told her, hey, I love you. And then I got on my knee and asked her if she would marry me. And I lifted up the ring box. And when I did that, Kathryn just kind of stared at me for a while. And I was like, oh no, is she going to say yes or no? Maybe this whole 6 years, I just kind of misread everything. But no, it just turned out she was just starting to cry and didn't know what to say. And she cried for a bit and wouldn't stop crying.
Bold.
Everyone was filming and taking photos, and it was really nice to be able to experience proposing in front of all her siblings, you know, and her parents and her best friends. I think it was the perfect setup. And it was on 4th of July, so later on we had a bunch of fireworks to kind of shoot off for the engagement, you know, for ourselves, and it was really nice. It was really nice and really enjoyable, and a little nerve-wracking too, because I tend to fumble my words and when I get nervous. But you know, I think it worked pretty well.
I think you did really well. I mean, the fact that I was surprised means that you did a great job, because normally I'm on top of all that stuff, but I had no idea.
Plus, Kathryn doesn't like surprises.
No, that's not true. I do like surprises, but when I'm planning things, it's kind of an oxymoron because I like to plan. So, but surprises are good because sometimes I need to be out of that comfort zone of control, right?
Yeah.
So opposites attract sometimes, right? We're not that opposite, but anyhow. Okay, so I'm going to continue picking out questions. Let's see if you covered who was in on it.
Oh, well, kind of give the whole story, but pretty much everyone but Kathryn was in on it. Her brothers were in on it. Her brother's wife was in on it. Her parents were in on it. Her friends were in on it. I even told her uncle and aunt and her cousins about her cousin about it.
We saw them the day before.
We saw them the day before, and I let them know what was going on.
That's so funny. Wow.
And I told everyone, and surprisingly, everyone kept it to themselves and didn't somehow get back to Kathryn.
I know.
So,
even my dad. My dad usually likes to
my parents knew.
blab.
Some of my cousins knew. So everyone knew in it. My aunt knew too. I sent her photos of the ring, and
wow.
She was pretty excited, and so I was happy to kind of finally get it all together. Although it wasn't what I planned originally, I think it was still pretty nice.
I think I was super grateful that the experience happened the way it did. Like I said, I didn't know what was going on, so I didn't have makeup on. I had like Adidas flip-flops on, so I just wasn't prepared.
It's kind of tough to say like, hey, you should dress up.
Well, Susie kind of made a hint at it,
yeah,
which was really funny. I was like, no, I'm okay. So
yeah.
little did I know, I should have just done something more, but it's okay. You know what? It really doesn't matter about the way you look anyways, because it's more than that, but we have great photos, so I'm really grateful that we were able to set that up, because if we didn't have that, then I wouldn't have the ability to go back and look at it, and I'm gonna be able to print out a picture and put it in a frame. So it's pretty exciting, and I'm just, to this day, I'm not gonna forget it, especially because it's 4th of July, so it makes it even easier to remember. And because it happened during 2020, so who's gonna forget that?
It also happened during a pandemic, so.
Yeah, so we had to be very creative. Well, you had to be creative, not me.
I had to be creative, yeah. I tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff. Events, I just get crazy amounts of anxiety trying to put it together because I want everyone to enjoy it and be happy. I want it to go off without a hitch. So we'll definitely see how wedding planning goes for me.
Well, I think we're both perfectionists, so I think that's why we're both on the same page about a lot of things, which is really, really nice. At least I think we are so far.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Next question. When did you buy the ring?
Oh, okay. So the ring was bought probably back in April. Now I think
Okay.
about it. April, maybe early May. I can't even remember right now. But I've had it for a while. With that came with a lot of going back and forth to the store, and Kathryn asking me, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna go do something. I don't know." And normally what that means to Kathryn is that either I'm gonna go to some store, go visit someone, or go say hi to someone. She doesn't want anything to do with it. In reality,
I think I was working, to be fair.
you were working actually. In reality, I was going down the street to the jeweler, Nurses, who they're fantastic people. And I explained to them what I wanted. We had gone in there a week or so before. We had her fitted for a ring, and she's trying on different styles and everything. And I went in there. I said, "Look, this is what I want, but my future to be fiance, my girlfriend wants something pretty intricate, but she doesn't know what yet." And they worked me through it. Told them what type of stone I wanted. We went with a moissanite, and then kind of without talking, they really helped me put something together so that I could have something to propose with her. And then if we eventually wanted to change the band, we could, and not have any issues. So yeah, definitely had that kind of burning a hole in my pocket, and I kept trying to find a way or a reason to do it, but I wanted it to be perfect. So that's why I held on to it for so long. Took photos, sent it to multiple people. Even our friend Sarah saw the photo, sent it to her. I called her the day that I bought it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I let her know.
That's nice. Sarah's going to be one of my bridesmaids, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, yeah, everyone's communicating, so good communication's always important, right? That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love my ring, and honestly, like the more that I've worn it, the more I'm happy with just the simplicity of it. So I might not even get an intricate one. I might just look for a more intricate band. So, and that's okay.
We wouldn't know. So that's something to be open about, really. I mean, the idea so much is not just getting an intricate ring, right? I felt like I just wanted something for her to have and show off and say, "Look, I'm engaged." Whether it was the intricacy that she wanted or if it was certain stuff that she wanted on there, I want something so she could show off and say, "This is what my boyfriend got me, who's now my fiance." So
yeah, like he said earlier, I just did a lot of research prior to, and I liked moissanite better, and we went to go look at it in person, and I was sold. I'm someone who likes a lot of color in general, and then you'd be able to see that in my photography. But the way that the light reflects off the stone, I feel like it's a lot more brilliant than a diamond. And when we were discussing the difference between the stones, he said that it's just below the hardness of diamond. And so I was like, that's fine with me. I don't plan on, having it melt or anything. So I think it's gonna be fine. But yeah, every time I walk around and I'm like making sure the sunlight can bounce off so I can enjoy the experience of having it on my finger. So it's pretty nice. Next question?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Describe my reaction. Do you want me to describe it or do you want to?
It was just her crying.
Crying is an understatement. Crying is an understatement, yes.
It was a crying that I've never seen before.
It was an ugly cry, right?
It was, yeah. I wouldn't say it was ugly.
Okay, that's nice of you.
I wouldn't say it was ugly. I just want to say that it was definitely a surprise cry.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
It's a happy cry. It was definitely a happy cry. Like in the movies, if you're watching a sad movie, but then it's like actually a happy movie. Anyways, I don't know how to describe it. Like The Notebook. It's like the ending of The Notebook.
Let's just say that she was quiet for what seemed like eternity before I realized she was starting to cry. And I think she was trying to understand what was going on because I was like...
It took me a minute to register what happened, and I mean, it clicked right when I saw everyone was filming like this with their phones, and so after that I was really happy, so much so that I went from crying to bawling in like 0 to 60. Same idea. But like I said, it's always going to be memorable, and we have it on film and we have it with pictures. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited. I still rewatch it on Instagram. He posted it on his Instagram. Yeah, I love it.
Don't start crying now.
I'm not gonna cry. I think I let that all out in that one moment. But it was good. It was a good moment. So, all right.
Final question.
Final question. Was I surprised?
I was surprised that she was surprised. I would have figured she would have figured it out pretty fast.
I just stared at him for like 3 seconds, and I don't even know if I said anything.
If you're gonna propose, or if you're thinking about getting proposed to, give your man a reaction so he doesn't think he's misunderstood it. Because 3 seconds definitely feels like
A long time?
a very long time in that moment. So do something, that makes your fiance understand that it's okay.
And it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was the big thing. It was just really surprising in a great way. And like I said, I wasn't expecting it because I had already in my mind put it to the back, and it wasn't a priority to think about because I knew, okay, well, I'm just gonna enjoy time with my family and friends, especially that we don't get to travel at all really this year. It was a nice way to end the little vacation from being quarantined and whatnot. So yeah, it was awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And now we get to enjoy the next steps. And so we're gonna actually do a video next on, now that you're engaged, what do you do? So stay tuned for that. And if you wanna follow our journey, go ahead and subscribe. And we're gonna try to pump out videos every week. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video and stay tuned for the next one.
Bye.
Is it possible?
Probably. I hope so.